Okay, so in order to discuss the tutorial 10 question, it's better for us to revise what we have learned during the last lecture. Okay, so let me show the PowerPoint slide again. So in chapter 10 actually consists of two parts. The first part is about the aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Then the second part is about the fiscal policy that can be used by government in order to monitor the aggregate demand in short run. Okay, so we start from part one first. Aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So in this chapter, you need to know what is aggregate demand, what is aggregate supply, what is that, and then what are the factors will move along the aggregate demand curve and also the aggregate supply curve. And you also have to know what are the factors shift the aggregate demand curve or shift the aggregate supply curve to the left or to the right. Okay, so these are the major things that you need to know for this chapter. So as we know, aggregate demand is referred to the total value of products or services that desire to be purchased by the economy. Okay, by the economy. So who are they? It can be the individual household, can be the private firms, can be referred to the government, can be referred to the foreigners who purchase the product from the local. So it consists of four sectors. All right. So these four sectors will form the aggregate demand. So aggregate demand is equal to C plus I plus G plus the net export. Okay. So these are the four sectors that will affect the aggregate demand. So you may find that actually the aggregate demand, okay, is negatively related with the general price level, right? Negatively related with the general price level. So when the price level is high, okay, let's say at point B, if the price level is very high, generally you may find that the aggregate demand is low, right, which is at Y2. However, when the price is reducing to, let's say, to point A, you may find that the aggregate demand will increase to Y1. Okay, so in short, the negative relationship between the general price level and the aggregate demand. Okay, and only the general price level will move along the aggregate demand curve. Then how can the aggregate demand curve shift to the left or to the right when the price level is unchanged? Okay, even though the price level is unchanged, what are the factors will increase the aggregate demand or reduce the aggregate demand, given that the price level is still unchanged? There are a few factors, which are C, I, G. So as long as one of the factor increasing, as long as C, I, G, or NS increasing, this will shift the aggregate demand curve to the right-hand side. That means in this case, is shift to A2, from AD1 to AD2. Okay, so I stop for a while, clear about this. All right, then we'll move on to the supply side. So for supply side, also the same. Aggregate supply, okay, is referred to the total products value that desire to be produced by producers in an economy. So AS is referred to the total value of output that are desired or that are wanted to be produced by producer in an economy. So the producer can be the private firms, okay? Can be the government as well. So in generally, there is a positive relationship between the price level and the aggregate output. Okay, so when the price level of the products in the market is low, let's say low, I start from low. So that means generally it's not really profitable to earn profit. It's not really profitable if the price level is low. So this will not encourage the producer to produce more product. So just produce a little, which is at Y0. However, When the price of the product generally increasing, that means generally this can get more profit if offer the products by the supplier. And then supplier will start to increase the quantity output they produce. Okay, then this will increase the GDP of the country. Right. So generally, the AS will move along the curve due to the general price level only. Only the general price level of the products or services can move along the AS curve. All right. So now the question is, what are the factors will shift the AS curve either to the left or to the right, given that the price level still the same, but the quantity desire that will be produced by the producer still the same, will increase or decrease. Okay, there are a few factors that will influence. Okay, so generally the aggregate supplier will shift to the left or to the right due to the production cost. Okay? Production cost is still playing the important role that will shift the aggregate supply curve in short run. So how are the production costs that will change then? Okay, this depends on the wages that will be given to labor, right? Okay, wages for labor. So if the wages of the labor is sure, this will increase the production cost, right? When the wages for labor are increasing, this will increase the production cost. So that means it's more expensive now to produce the product. As a result, this will shift the AS curve to the left-hand side from AS1 to AS3. Okay. And besides that, right, the number of labor in the market can also influence the shipment of the aggregate supply curve, because when we have more labor in the market, in the economy, that means this can also this will make the human capital available. It's easy to get the human capital. If that is the case, this can also will encourage the supplier to produce more products in the market. As a result, the AS curve will shift to the right-hand side from AS1 to AS2. Okay. The second factor will be the resources, the physical capital, like machine or this. If the machine are more now to produce the product, capital, we have more capital to produce the product. This can also shift the AS curve to the right-hand side. Next is the natural resources. Okay, is the land. The land, if we have more land, that means we can have more space to produce more products. So this will shift the AS curve to the right. Okay. Another will be the technology advancement. Because with technology advancement, this can also reduce the production cost, which will shift the AS curve to the right-hand side. All right. But however, in the long run, we may find that the aggregate supply curve is in the vertical form. It's a vertical line. Why? Because in the long run, the economy already fully utilize the resources available. Okay, and only can achieve this level of output. So no matter what is the change of the price level of the product, the aggregate supply will be the same, because this is the level whereby the economy will achieve the full employment. It's already fully utilize all the resources available in the economy. Cannot increase the resources available anymore. Okay, even though the price of the goods and services are increasing or reducing, the aggregate supply curve will be the same in the long run, only in the long run. But in the short run, you may have found that there is a positive relationship between the price level of the products and the GDP value in an economy. Okay, so I stop for a while. Any question on this chapter? So far, okay, quite straightforward, right? Okay. Then we move on to the next chapter. This is just a quick summary. Okay. Then the next slide. Let me open another PowerPoint slide. A quick one. Okay. Okay, I think I need to leave the meeting for a while so that I can open another document. Okay, please wait for me.
Sir, you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, okay, we start again. Okay. So in the previous chapter, we already learned 3 types of macroeconomics problem, right? Can you recall what are the 3 major macroeconomics problems that we have studied so far? Anybody? What can you recall? What are the 3 major macroeconomics problems in an economy? Anybody? Hello? Can you recall what are the 3 major macroeconomics problems faced by an economy? What are 3 major issues that we have learned?
Unemployment.
Yes, good. Okay, unemployment. All right, because when many people are unemployed, that means no job. So that means the income will be reducing, and people have no money to buy food or necessary things. So which may create the economic and also the social issue. Yeah. Okay, good. Then how about another type of macroeconomics problem that we already learned so far? Besides unemployment. Pardon?
Inflation.
Yes, inflation also, right? Inflation means the continuous increasing of the price level of goods and services. Also not good, because if the prices are very high, that means most of the people may not have also enough money to buy products for surviving. So we also need to address the inflation issue. We have to ensure that the inflation rate cannot be too high. Okay, of course we cannot eliminate 100% of the inflation rate, but we try to monitor, maybe try to monitor to about 3 to 4%, so that all of the nation can live comfortably, with the existing price level of goods and services offered in an economy. Okay, any more? There is one more, another problem again.
Business cycle.
Yes, business cycle. Okay, what happened to the business cycle? What happened? What is the major issue? It's the GDP, right? The national income. Yeah, national income of a country is not consistent is always fluctuate throughout the time. Always fluctuate, right? Sometimes can be high, sometimes can be low. When the GDP value is increasing, that means it's under the recovery period, right? But the GDP can also reduce, which is the recession time, which is also not good for the country. So these are the three major macroeconomic problems that have to be addressed. So how to address all these three major macroeconomic problems? Okay, one of the method that can be used by government is through the fiscal policy. Okay, fiscal policy. So how? Fiscal policy actually it can be used to monitor or to control the aggregate demand in short run. Okay, to influence the aggregate demand in short run. So what do you mean aggregate demand here? Aggregate demand refer to the consumer spending. So I write down here. Okay, just now we already learned this. Very important. AD is equal to C I. I is refer to the private firm investment. Okay, and also the government spending plus the net export. Okay, so these are the four components will affect the aggregate demand. So what the government can do is can try to the aggregate demand for these four sections. So how to do so? Through the taxation and expenditure. Expenditure here is referred to the government spending, this one, direct one. Through this, okay. Through government expenditure can help to stimulate the C and I. So when the government expenditure increase, actually this can also have impact on C and I. Why? Because when government have more project, then that means that these have more job opportunities for the household as well, right? And also for the private firms to involve in the government projects. So when G increase, actually this also increase the I and increase the C. Okay, so when these three components increasing, this will increase the AD. Okay. So besides that, the government can also try to control the tax rate in the country. Okay, when the tax is, let's say, reducing the tax, then that means people have money to spend. Okay, individual household will need to pay lesser tax. Then that means they will have income for spending. So this will increase the C value. Okay, when the tax is reducing, the private firm also only need to pay lower level of tax as well. So the private firm can use the profit they earn to extend their business. When they extend their business, this can also increase the AD. Right. So generally, there are two tools can be used by government in the fiscal policy in order to monitor the aggregate demand. What are the two tools? Taxation and expenditure are the two tools. Okay, these are the two tools can be used by government in order to control the aggregate demand in an economy. Okay. So how to use these two tools here depends on the situation. Okay, depends on the situation of using these two tools. If the economy is having recession time means many people are jobless. Unemployment is very high during the recession time. If recession, then what strategy should be used by the government? During the recession time, the government should use the expansionary policy in order to increase the GDP. Okay. So expansionary fiscal policy is aimed to increase the GDP in order to solve the problem of recession. Okay. Increase GDP. So how to increase the GDP or the aggregate demand then? How to increase the aggregate demand? So if there's a case, in order to increase the aggregate demand, the government has to increase the government spending. Okay, government spending means the G. This is referred to the G. So increase the G. G increase. I use symbol insert. Okay, insert symbol. and at the same time also reduce the tax. Okay, so by doing these two, okay, these two tools, then this can increase the AD value. Once G increase, T reducing, this can increase the AD. Okay, because we know the AD is formed by C plus I plus G plus NX. Okay, so if G increase, this will increase the business activities as well. This will increase the I. So when I increase, that means more job opportunities in the economy. So more people can get employed. This also increase the consumer income. The household individual income will increase. And they'll have more money to spend. So when they spend, this will increase AD. Okay. So far, okay. Okay. On the other hand, what happens if the country is having inflation? Inflation means when the price level of the country mostly very high, very high price level, very expensive. Okay, and the citizen all have to live with the very high cost of situation. So how to handle with inflation then? Okay, if that's the case, the government can try to reduce the AD, the aggregate demand, through what method? Through the contractionary fiscal policy. So how to do so? The government can reduce the tax. Okay, reduce the tax, which is G, reduce. The T reduce. Reduce the government spending, G. Okay, I use this color. Okay, and at the same time, increase the tax. That means the individual household and private firm have to pay more tax now. Okay. So by doing these two tools, this will reduce the G. Once G reduce, this can have impact on the I. I will also reduce. When I reduce, this will reduce the C. And usually when I reduce, this will also will reduce the export. Okay, when I reduce, usually the export also will be reduced because lesser output to be exported to outside of the country. So usually if I reduce, this will affect C and also affect the NX. So G is very important, and this G and also the T are very important. That can influence the I. When I reduce, this will reduce the C and X. And overall of the AD will reduce. This is how the government can use tax and spending to monitor the AD in short run. Okay, so these are the things that we have to learn for chapter number 10. Any question before we proceed to tutorial 10 discussion? I stop for a while. Okay, if not, then I'll move on to the tutorial question. We start from summative question again. As usual, I'll call your name. All right, I'll call your name to answer. So let me share the question for summative question. All right, I open. Okay, Can you see the screen? Cannot, I think, right? Okay. Let me go back again. Okay, I think I need to leave the meeting chat for a while. I come back. I mute my phone again. Okay, so we'll start from Johanna. Answer question number 1.
The basic aggregate demand and aggregate supply curve model helps to explain the output fluctuation in an individual market.
Okay, so let us analyze the question together. Okay. This one is basic, right? The aggregate demand and aggregate supply curve help explain what? So what is the answer? Johanna?
D.
No. You know why? Because this is aggregate demand and supply is referred to the overall economy. It's not only one market. Okay? It's not individual. It's not an individual market, but it's referred to the whole economy. So if that's the case, C and D are not correct. Okay? C and D are out. Because why? Why out? Because of the word individual market only. Only one market. This market can be referred to handphone market, can be referred to other products market. Yeah. So yeah, these are the keywords. Individual. If only one market, then it's not considered as aggregate demand. Okay. So C and D are out. So we only have A and B. Yeah. So the most accurate answer would be A. Short-term fluctuation in real GDP and the price level. Okay, why? How do you say that? Because don't forget the y-axis of the aggregate demand and aggregate supply curve is the real GDP, right? Real GDP is the x-axis, and the general price level is the y-axis. So the most appropriate answer would be A. Yeah. C and D are not. Okay, yeah. And some more is C only mentioning about price level, which is not enough, which is not able to explain the whole diagram situation. Yeah? So the most accurate answer is A. Okay. Question number 2, Nelly. Nelly, are you here? No. Okay, then I'll move on to Sophia.
The aggregate demand curve shows the relationship between the price level and quantity of real GDP demanded. D.
Answer is Denmark. Yep, correct. So this question is quite straightforward, right? Okay, Consumer price index actually will show the changes of the price level through that time. Okay, through that time. So for consumer price index, the x-axis is referred to time. Okay, it's referred to the year. So it's not correct answer, yeah, because for this one is show the for question 2 is to show the curve that can show the relationship between price and quantity of real GDP demand. So consumer price index is not correct. Okay. All right, then number 3, Kai.
When the aggregate demand curve and the short run aggregate supply curve intersect, the economy is in short run macroeconomic equilibrium B.
Correct. So answer is Denmark. So if the AD and the short run AS intersect, meet to each other, then that means that is the point whereby the economy is achieving macroeconomic equilibrium. So answer is D, Denmark. Okay, number 4, Jizwan.
The recession of 2007 to 2009 made many consumers pessimistic about their future incomes. How does this increased pessimism affect the aggregate demand curve? C. This will shift the aggregate demand curve to the left.
Yeah, to the left. Why? Because pessimistic, that means it's like not really have confidence, not really have confidence about the future income due to recession. Recession, that means the economic condition is not very good. Yeah, so consumers worry about their future income as well. They also worry that the income may reduce. So when they worry that the income will reduce, they will reduce their spending. Yeah, when spending reducing, this will affect this will shift the aggregate demand curve to the left-hand side. Okay, so the best answer is C. So actually, this will affect this. Actually, yeah, this is going to affect the consumer or the household. The household spending usually will reduce. So when the household spending reducing, this will affect the AD. AD will also reduce. Okay. Number 5, Ming Shen.
Which of the following would cause the short-run aggregate supply curve to shift to the right? C. A technological advance.
Yeah, technological advance. So answer is China. Okay. Okay. Let us try to start from A. An increase in the price level. So what is going to happen if the price level of the products or services in an economy are increasing? What is the effect then? What is the effect? Anybody? The effect is the short run aggregate supply curve will move along, right? Will move along the curve. Right? Price level is referred to the y-axis. So price level is not going to shift the aggregate supply curve, but it's going to move along the supply curve. So this is going to AS. I put AS curve. AS move. The AS curve will move upward. Okay, because when the price of the product generally increasing, this encourage the producer to produce more products. Okay, however, this is the price level. So this will move the AS curve upward. Okay, not to shift, but it's only move. This is the keyword, moves upward. This is a keyword. Okay. Then how about B? A decrease in inflation expenditure. That means it's expected in the future the price level is going to increase. inflation. So inflation expectation, so that means which curve is going to get affected? Is inflation. Okay, inflation, that means the price level of the goods will be very, especially this will affect the cost of production as well. Cost of production also increase, like the petrol price, all these will increase. Okay, so which is not really good for the supply side. Okay, we can look at from two angles, whether it's supply or demand. But for this question is we have to focus on the aggregate supply side. Okay, so inflation, if inflation happen, that means right, the price level of the products are high. Okay, and especially the production costs, especially the fuel, all this can increase. Okay, so depends also, if the fuel cost increase, this can shift the supply curve to the left hand side. Okay, so depends on the effect of inflation in the economy. Okay, D is increase the interest rate. Okay, if the interest rate is increasing, that means cost of borrowing is increasing. Actually, in our PowerPoint slide, we did not discuss about this. Interest rate means the interest charged by the financial institution to the borrower. Okay, if interest rate is high, that means it is more expensive to borrow money. Okay, so that means the borrowing cost increase. That means it's high borrowing cost. Okay. If the high borrowing cost is high, what is the impact? So that means that actually it's not good for the investment. Okay, the investment will reduce because it's expensive to borrow money to set up business. Okay, so usually this will reduce the I. I use this symbol, right? So when I reduce, then this will affect the AD. AD will reduce. So okay, this is more impact on the demand side. It's on the demand side, more impact on the demand side instead of the supply side. But anyway, the supply side are also getting affected as well. Supply side would be the aggregate supply will shift to the left hand side also, because high cost of borrowing. AS also will shift to the left hand side. Okay. But the question now is shift to the right. So which is totally against the question. So the best answer is C, China. Okay, to question number 5. Okay. 5 already done. Okay, number 6. Number 6 is we need to answer the question based on the diagram provided. Okay. Ming-Xuan already done, right? Xander, are you here today? Xander? No, okay. Becky?
Refer to the figure above. An increase in the labor force would be represented by A, a shift from SRAS1 to SRAS2.
Correct. Answer is A. All right. Australia. Okay. Number 7 also refer to the diagram. Carissa? Are you here today, Carissa?
Yes,
no.
sir.
Oh, yes, Carissa, yes.
Refer to the figure above. A decrease in the capital stock will be represented by D, a movement from point B to point A.
Oh, movement means the price. Okay, movement is movement of the aggregate supply curve, right? Is due to the price level only. Okay, if moving means from A to B, okay, movement along the aggregate supply curve is only due to the price level. Okay? Only the price level can affect the movement. But the question now is asking about this one. Capital stock. Capital stock here is can be referred to the inventory, capital stock, or it can be referred to the machine required to produce the product reducing now, machine capital. If the machine required to produce the product not reducing, how then? What is going to happen? Capital is one of the factors of production. Okay, so now the quantity of factor of production reducing. So what is going to happen?
Shift for SRAS1 to SRAS2.
Okay, you see, if the capital, that means is one of the resources available in the economy is reducing. So that means the economy has lesser machine to produce product, lesser machine. So that means the aggregate supply curve will shift to the left-hand side. Okay, will reduce the production already. Reduce the production. So the best answer actually is this answer, B. Okay, B is the best answer. Yeah, because the capital available in the market now already reducing, in the economy already reducing. Yeah, so the best answer is B. Brazil. Okay, number 8. Nian Ong.
Other things equal, a decrease in the real interest rate will C. Reduce investment and shift the AD curve to the left.
Interest rate. Okay, this one I think we didn't cover in the PowerPoint slide. Okay, interest rate actually will affect the borrowing cost. Okay, interest rate will affect the borrowing cost. That means is okay, if the interest rate is reducing, okay, so that means cheaper. Now it's cheaper to borrow money. Cheaper. Okay, borrowing cost. Okay. The consequence is cheaper borrowing cost. All right. So if the borrowing cost is cheaper, is that going to affect the AD? Yes, going to affect. Which AD is going to affect? Okay, I'll show you. As we know, AD is equal to C plus I plus G plus the NX. Okay. So if borrowing cost is cheaper now, so what is the consequence? You may find that more private firms are going to borrow money from the bank, from bank or financial institution in order to start the business or extend the business. As a result, consequently, this will increase the I. Okay, this will encourage the private firm to invest because it's cheaper now. Borrowing cost is cheaper, so I will increase. Okay. So when I increase, what is going to happen? You may find that the AD will increase, right? So AD will shift to the right-hand side. Yeah, answer would be Brazil. This one. Okay, it's cheaper now. Nian Ong, are you okay? Can you understand this part? All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Number 9. Chrissy.
Which of the following will shift the aggregate demand curve
the left, a decrease in government spending D.
Yeah, answer is this. So in order to answer this question, you can use the formula of AD. This formula again. This is always the important formula for this chapter. Okay, so use this formula to guide you to answer the question for this chapter. Okay. Okay, then number 10. I think this one I need to move down already so that I can read the whole paragraph. Okay. Edwin, are you here today?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, number 10.
Which of the following will not shift the aggregate demand curve to the left? A. Consumers become more optimistic about the future.
Correct, yeah. Because when the consumer they are more optimistic, that means have positive thinking about the future, usually they'll spend more. Okay, they'll spend more. Then this should increase the C. And if the C increase, this should increase the AD and shift the AD to the right hand side. Yeah. So option A should shift the AD to the right, but not the left. Okay. So option B, C, D, all will shift the AD to the left, except option A. Okay, good. And then, okay, then we'll move on to question 11. Okay, so from question 11, this question are related to fiscal policy. Fiscal policy. Okay, we'll start from Erwin. Question 11.
An example of fiscal policy is the change in value added tax.
Yeah, okay. So remember, fiscal policy only dealing with two tools, which are tax and what else? Erwin, can you recall? Besides tax, any other tool can be used by government to control the AD, but in the fiscal policy, besides tax, another tool is using the what else can be used by government in the fiscal policy to monitor the AD besides the tax. Anybody?
Expenditure.
Yes, government. You have to put government expenditure, right? Government expenditure or government spending. Okay, so tax and government spending are the two tools that can be used by government to monitor the AD, by using fiscal policy. Okay, good. Then question number 12. David, are you here today? David Wong. No. Okay, Christina. Question 12. Christina. Not here, Christina. Okay, then we move on to Jason.
Number 12, right?
Yes, number 12.
Contradictory fiscal policy is imposed by the government to reduce problem of inflation.
Yes, reduce problem of inflation. Contractionary means it's something like reducing something already. So is to reduce the problem of inflation. Okay, number 13, we go back to Johanna again. Johanna?
A deficit budget occurs when A, the government's total expenditure exceeds revenue.
Yes, correct. Answer is Australia. Okay. Number 14. Nelly? Nelly not here just now, right? Okay, then we'll move on to Sophia. Sophia, number 14.
Sir?
Yes.
I thought question 14 we discuss next session.
Oh, yeah, it's about the monetary. Yeah, correct. Yeah, thank you for reminding. Yes, correct. Because this question is related to monetary policy that we have not covered in tutorial 10 years. This chapter will be covered in the coming week. Okay, thank you for informing. Okay, so let us skip this question for today, and then I'll move to question number 15. Sophia?
If the government's total revenues are more than its total expenditures, it is called a B, surplus budget.
Yeah, surplus budget. Yes. Answer is Brazil. Okay, number 16. Kayi.
A cut in government spending will cause an decrease in aggregate demand, and a decrease in the discount rate will cause an decrease in aggregate demand. D.
I think this one we haven't really covered. Discount rate. Okay, discount rate is also one of the interest rate. Is one type of interest rate. Okay. Discount rate actually is the interest rate charged by the national bank to the private bank. Okay, private bank are like public bank, Maybank. If this bank not have enough money, they can borrow money from national bank. National bank is owned by government. Okay, and when the private banks borrow money from national bank, then the private firm have to pay. The private banks have to pay some interest, okay, to the national bank as well. And this interest is called as the discount interest rate. Okay, discount interest rate. So if the discount rate is decreasing, that means it's cheaper now for the private bank to borrow money. Cheaper now for private bank to borrow money. Okay. So if that is the case, that means the private bank can borrow money from the national bank and use this money to lend out to the private sector, to the private firm, and also to the individual household. If that's the case, so that means there'll be more money available in the market, and this will increase the I and also the C value, okay, and increase the AD. So in this case, the best answer is C. Okay. Discount rate actually is also one type of interest rate. So if the interest rate is lower now, that means it's cheaper to borrow money. So once borrowing cost is lower, so this will encourage the people to spend. Okay, that means C, I will increase. C and I will increase. When C and I increase, this will increase the AD. So the best answer is C. Okay, China. Okay, number 17, Zizwan. Are you here, Zizwan?
All of the following are variables that can be manipulated to affect fiscal policy except D, rate of interest.
Yes, rate of interest. Because rate of interest actually is considered as monetary policy that we have not covered. We are going to cover in the coming week. Interest rate is under the monetary policy. Okay, so for fiscal policy only have two tools, which are the tax and government spending. So for option B and C, these two are government spending. Okay, these two are under the category of G. Income tax is referred to the T. Okay. All right, number 18. Ming Xuan. Ming Xuan. Should be Ming Xuan.
Each of the following might be a specific fiscal policy action except D, reducing interest rates to stimulate consumer demand.
Yeah, this interest rate is under the monetary policy, which we have not covered yet. Interest rate is under the monetary policy. Okay, number 19. Mission already done. Becky.
Which of the following is a concern of fiscal policy, D, or above?
Yeah, all of the above. Answer is Denmark. Okay, so please stop me if you have any problem. You can stop me for a while, right? Transfer payment, government spending. transfer payment, social security benefits, welfare payments. These will increase the G. Okay, this will increase the G. Yeah. And this is also is under G. All right, so it is under the fiscal policy. Okay, question 20. Carissa, are you here?
Which of the following government policy will help the economy to recover during inflation? D. A decrease in the discount rate.
Okay. Discount rate is the interest rate. Is a type of interest rate. What is the question? Okay, this one. Okay. Discount rate is a type of interest rate. Okay. So if the interest rate is lower now, that means it's cheaper. It's cheaper to borrow money. Okay. So that means it's cheaper borrowing cost. So if the borrowing cost is cheaper, what is going to happen? This will encourage the individual household and the firms, the private firms, to borrow money from bank. Okay, more people are interested to borrow money because it's cheaper now. So what is going to happen then? If borrow money, usually they'll borrow for buying things, by maybe car loan, the house loan will increase because borrowing cost now is cheaper. So more people would like to ask for loan. Okay, more people like the household would like to start to buy more things because it's cheaper now. So they'll buy car, buy house through the loan. If that's the case, this will increase the C. Okay, so at the same time also, the private firm also would like to invest or extend their business. Why? Because now it's cheaper to borrow money from bank. If that's the case, this will increase the I also. Okay, so when I increase, that means this will generate more business activities and increase the AD. So in short, right, if C and I increase, this will increase the AD value. AD will increase. If AD increase, what is going to happen? If AD increase, this is going to increase the price level. Okay, the price level of the products will be more expensive generally. Okay, so when price level increasing, this will increase the inflation. Price level. Why price level increasing? Because C and I AD increasing. So that means people want to have money. Okay, want to have money and spend more. So this will increase the price level. So once price level increase, what's going to happen? Inflation is getting worse. Inflation is going to increase more and more again further. Okay, so this is not going to reduce the inflation. Okay, this method, so that means that by reducing the discount rate, it's not going to reduce the inflation. Yeah, so D is not. This is not the correct answer. Can you try other option? A, B, or C? Who can help? Yes, A also not. Okay, let us check why. Okay. Okay, the purchase of, this is more on monetary policy. I think this question also same like question number 14. This one should be monetary policy. Okay, we'll go back again to this question when we proceed to last chapter. Sorry, because this question is more to monetary policy. Government security is monetary policy too. We haven't covered yet. Okay, so we can skip this question and then we'll discuss in the coming week. Yeah. All right. Okay, don't worry about this question. We'll discuss later. Okay, in the coming week. That is the reason I don't want to cover the monetary policy tomorrow, because I don't want to confuse you with the fiscal policy. So tomorrow we are not going to start with a new chapter, but tomorrow we are going to discuss the practice exercise 3 question. Okay. Because I don't want to miss out the fiscal and also the monetary policy, otherwise you're confused. Okay, so summative question, we already discussed all, then we'll move to the formative question. Let me open the file, and I may need to leave the meeting temporarily. I'll come back again. All right.
Sir, your mic.
Sorry. Okay. So the first question of the formative is, okay, let us analyze the question again. So this question is asking us to explain the influence of each of the following events on the quantity of real GDP supply and aggregate supply in India, and use a graph to illustrate. So influence means the impact. Okay, the impact on quantity of real GDP. Quantity of real GDP supply is referred to the movement along the supply curve. So this one means movement along. These words means movement along AS. Move along. So bear in mind, we only have one factor will move along the aggregate supply curve, which is the price level. Only the price level will move along the supply curve. All right. Maybe I use different color. I use, I think I use green. Okay. So only the price level will move along the supply curve. Okay. Aggregate supply, what is the meaning? That means it's shipment, shipment of the supply curve. That means either the supply curve will shift to the left or shift to the right. I use the word shifting. Shifting of AS curve can be due to the production cost, mainly due to the production cost. Okay, which are the cost to employ the labor, cost for the capital, and cost for the natural resources. These are the costs. All of these production costs will affect the aggregate supply and shift the aggregate supply curve either to the left or to the right at similar price level. Okay, so let us try the first question. Fuel prices rise. So that means the petrol price increasing. But it's only one price. This is only one product. Okay, one price only. It's not the general price level, but it's only one product. You compare A and F are different. F is the overall price level. Okay, A is only one product. Don't forget, this is only one product. Okay, if only one product of the price increasing, so what do you think the impact? What is the impact then? Only one product. Okay, so we start from Neon just now. Do you want to answer, Neon? What do you think, Neon? Do you want to try this question? What's the impact if the fuel prices increasing? Do you think this will affect the quantity of real GDP or aggregate supply? Which one will get affected? Quantity supply will get affected or the aggregate supply? Neon, can you answer? What do you think?
Aggregate supply?
Yes, aggregate supply will get affected. Why? Because the production cost is more expensive now. Because in most of the production, usually require petroleum. Petroleum for running the business. Fuel. Why? Because of transportation. You need to deliver or deliver the goods to the customer. Also require car, right? Car also require petroleum. Right. So fuel price increase. So that means some the production cost can increase, especially the delivery cost will increase. Okay. Not only delivery cost, some of the cooking material, the production materials can also increase as well due to the fuel price increasing. So that means if the fuel price increasing, that means the production cost increasing, right? I think I should use the symbol enough. This one no need. Just simply use the symbol. Okay, so if production cost increasing now, so what is the impact to the aggregate supply curve? So Neon does not already answer. Maybe you can try. Chrissy, what do you think? If the production cost increasing, what is the impact to the AS?
Shift to the left.
Shift to the left-hand side because now it's more costly to produce the products. That means the AS curve shift to the left. Okay. Stop. And then the question also asking you to use a diagram, a graph, to illustrate the answer as well. Right. I use purple color for the answer, So you can try to draw a diagram. You can just simply draw the AS curve, the old and the new AS curve. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I'll publish the answer for you to have a look. Let me go back to the modules. Okay, let me share the screen with you on Okay, let me leave the meeting chat for a while, then I'll come back. So can you see the screen? All right. So for question number 1A, after you expanding, the AS curve shift to the left, right? Then you can try to draw a diagram. So for your diagram, you can draw the original AS curve, which is AS0, right? So if the AS curve shift to the left, you can draw another line again on the left-hand side, which is AS1. And you can also show the arrow to indicate the shiftment direction of the AS curve. Okay. All right. Question number 2. Question number 1B. Okay, 1B is, okay, I go back to the question again. So this question is, US firms move their IT and data function to India. So that means more resources now, more investment. Okay. US firms move their IT and data function to India. Yeah. So what is the implication? That means there are more resources now. Okay, more resources. And these resources actually are from US companies. Okay, US companies transfer some of the resources to India. So that means India has more resources now for IT and data function, more resources now. So what is the impact to the country, then to India? Okay. So for this question, do you think that has impact to the quantity supply or the aggregate supply? For B, okay, let us try. Okay, Nin Ong already done. Chrissy also already done. Edwin. Okay, so for 1B.
Yes.
Okay, if the India country has more resources now, so will it have impact to GDP supply or aggregate supply? What is the sequence? Quantity supply or aggregate supply?
I think aggregate supply.
Yes, correct. Aggregate supply. Why? What is aggregate supply? Why is aggregate supply but not the quantity of real GDP supply? Because IT and data function are resources, right? Not the price level of the product, but it's resources, more resources now. available in India. If there's a case, what's going to happen? That means like there'll be more resources available for India to produce products, and more resources available. As a result, this can also shift the AS curve to the right-hand side, okay, to the right, because more available in the market. Okay, so this is how you answer the question. Okay, Edwin. Okay, so you can also try to draw the diagram in order to illustrate your answer. Okay, then I'll move on to C. Alvin, okay, if the Walmart and Starbucks open the business in India, these two companies are from US company. Now they want to open the business in India. Okay, I think I better use another slide. Okay, I think I continue use this one. So what is the impact to India then? Which factor is going to, what is the consequence if more international firms open the business in India? Will it affect the aggregate supply or affect the quantity of real GDP supply?
Quantity of real GDP supply.
No. Quantity of real GDP supply is due to price level. Now there are more international firms come in. So that means there will be more investment. Okay, more people come in. More firms operate the business or produce more products in India. And in fact, this is going to increase the GDP of the country. There will be why GDP will increase? Is because more supply in the market, aggregate supply increasing. Okay, but it's not because of the price level, but it's because more companies setting up the business in India. More companies setting up the business in India. As a result, this will shift the aggregate supply curve to the right-hand side, like this. Okay, because even though these are the US companies, but they're setting up the business in India, so this will be counted as the GDP in India. The GDP in India will increase, in fact. Okay. And this will shift the AS curve to the right-hand side. Okay, then I'll move on to D. Let me see what is the question. Okay, university in India increase the number of engineering graduates. Christina is not here, right? Jason, what do you think? What is the consequence then? What do you think if India has more engineering graduates now? What is the consequence? Jason, are you here? What do you think? What is the direct effect if more engineering graduates?
The GDP will decrease?
No. Before we talk about the aggregate supply, what is going to happen the next then? Engineering graduates. Now we have more people with knowledgeable people.
The aggregate supply will shift to the right.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, shift to the right. Correct. Why? What is the reason aggregate supply shift to the right? Why?
More resources.
Yes. What are the resources? Are you referring to? What are the resources? Human,
Labor,
right? Human resources.
Human.
Yeah, knowledgeable people. We have more labor now in the market with better quality of labor. Okay, better quality of labor. So this will also shift the aggregate supply curve to the right-hand side as well, due to better quality of human resources. Okay, because when the human resources quality is better, that means this will also have better productivity of those workers, higher productivity. So this will shift the aggregate supply curve to the right hand side. So bear in mind, this is not because of the price level, but it's because of the quality of the human capital in India now is better. Okay. E. We go back to Johanna again. Okay, if the money wage rate, that means the salary rate in India increasing now. Okay. This is not the product price, but it's about the salary of the workers in India now is increasing. So what is the consequence then? Johanna, what do you think? Johanna, are you here? No. Sophia, can you help? What do you think? Cannot answer. Okay, if the salary increasing, that means the production cost is higher now, right? It's getting higher. This will affect the production cost. Yeah, production cost is going to increase. If production cost increase, right, that means like the firm will try to reduce. The firm or try to reduce the production because it's more expensive now to produce product. So some of the firms will reduce the production. So this will shift the aggregate supply curve to the left-hand side. Okay. So far, okay, So this is due to the production cost. So bear in mind, for aggregate supply is always, the shipment is always due to the production cost. Okay, it's due to the production cost. Okay, if price level generally increasing in India, so what is the consequence? Well, that affect what is the direct effect? Whether it's to the aggregate supply or to the quantity of real GDP supply. The direct effect. Kai, what do you think, Kai? If the price level in India generally increasing, what is the next consequence? I go back to this slide. Anybody can help? If price level in India rising, what is the direct consequence? Will that affect the quantity of real GDP supply or affect the aggregate supply?
Quantity of real GDP.
Yeah, okay. So the direct effect, the first effect will affect the quantity of real GDP supply. Okay. So this will move the aggregate supply curve. This will moved along the AS supply curve outward, right? Outward because the price level, that means the product price, and generally the products and services price increasing. That means it seems to be more profitable to offer the products in the market now. So this will encourage the supplier to produce more. As a result, this will move the AS curve outward. Okay, move the AS curve outward. So I show you the answer. Okay, so the S curve will move upward. All right, so this is question number 1. Okay, now we go back to question 2. Question 2 will be on the aggregate demand. Aggregate demand. So let us analyze the question together. So this question is Mexico trades with the United States. That means both countries have business transaction. Mexico and United States. Okay. So explain the effect of each of the following events on Mexico's aggregate demand and use a graph to illustrate. That means for each event, okay, we have to explain the consequence to the Mexico aggregate demand curve. What is going to happen to the Mexico aggregate demand curve for each event? All right, so for event A is the government of Mexico cuts the personal income taxes. So that means the personal income tax now is lower now. That means the individual household will pay lesser income tax to the government. Okay, if pay lesser, that means so that means the personal income tax. So that means the income tax reducing. Okay, if the income tax reducing, that means the household will have more disposable income. Disposable income means the income that can be spent. Okay, disposable income. This is the income that can be used for spending. Disposable income. So disposable income of household will increase, right? So if disposable income of household increase, so what is going to happen then? That means this will increase the C, right? C is going to increase. Oh, I should click the symbol. Can you see this? Can all right. So C is going to increase, right? So if C increase, what is the impact? C increase, that means the AD will increase. If AD increase, that means the aggregate supply, aggregate demand curve will shift to the right hand side. Aggregate demand will shift to the right hand side. Okay, so this will happen in Mexico, Mexico country. Any questions so far on this? Okay, B. The next event is about what? United States go into a recession. Okay, United States is having recession now. That means the economic condition in United States is not good. If not good, that means the aggregate demand is also in US is not very is also going to reduce. This is going to happen in US. US demand will reduce. Because generally the economic condition is not good in US. So what is going to happen then? If the US economy is not good, that means US will reduce their demand from Mexico, isn't it? So what is the consequence? That means Mexico will have lesser export, right? Export of Mexico reducing. Export, I use this one. So less export. The export is referred to the X. We use the symbol X. So if the export reducing, that means this will usually this will reduce the net export. Okay. And what's the consequence? Consequence is AD is going to reduce in Mexico. Okay. If AD in Mexico reducing, that means the AD curve will shift to the left. I put Mexico so that you're not confused. Okay, I stop for a while. Any question on this? Okay, yeah? So far so good. Okay. C, price level in Mexico rising. Be careful, this is price level. That means it's general price level in Mexico. General, or general goods and services in Mexico price increasing now. Okay, increasing now. So what is the consequence? This is price level, price level. So what is going to happen to the aggregate demand? According to this question, what is going to happen to the Mexico aggregate demand? Because this is price level only, right? The price level. So that means the aggregate demand in the aggregate demand curve for Mexico, well, shift is not shift, it's a move backward. So that means it's move backward. So I say that the aggregate demand curve in Mexico move backward. What is the reason move backward then? It's because when the general price level increasing, that means most of the goods and services in Mexico are very expensive, are very expensive now. So that means, right, this will affect the aggregate demand. This will reduce the aggregate demand and move the aggregate demand curve backward only, but it's not going to shift, but it's only moving along the aggregate demand curve. Okay. So you can also use the diagram. Okay, I'll show you how are you going to use the diagram to explain the answer. Okay, you just need to show the arrow to the left-hand side for this question. Okay, so these are question 2. So far so good. For question 2, do you want any further clarification? Anything that you'd like to discuss for question 2 before we proceed to the last question today, question 3? So far okay, all right. So let us move on to question 3. Oh, I already shown the answer for you. Hopefully you can read the question. Okay, so here's the question. The question is, distinguish between the expansionary fiscal policy and contractionary fiscal policy. So that means you are asked to discuss the differences between expansionary fiscal policy and contractionary fiscal policy. What are the differences between these two types of fiscal policy? So what can you do in order to answer this question? What can you do is you can try to compare in terms of the purpose. What is the purpose the government would like to use expansionary policy? When should the government use the contractionary fiscal policy? So you can compare in terms of the purpose, right? Then after that, you have to discuss what are the tools that can be used for each type of fiscal policy. What the tools means, how the government can control the spending and also the tax rate in order to implement the expansionary or the contractionary fiscal policy. Okay, so this is how you answer the question. If you want to make your job easy, what you can do is you can discuss each fiscal policy. Yeah, so you can start with expansionary fiscal policy. All right, you can discuss what is the reason, what is the purpose to use the expansionary fiscal policy. When is the suitable time to use this policy? Okay, so expansionary fiscal policy is most suitable to be used when the government would like to increase the aggregate demand during the recession period, right? Because during the recession period, the aggregate demand is low. So in order to increase the aggregate demand, the government can use the expansionary fiscal policy in order to address the recession problem. So how? The next question, the next explanation is we have to discuss how can the government implement the expansionary fiscal policy. So how? Okay, so the government can try to increase the government spending and at the same time reduce the tax in order to boost the economic growth. Okay, so you can start until here is enough already. Yeah. Okay, on the other hand, how about the contractionary fiscal policy? When should the government implement the contractionary fiscal policy? What is the purpose? Okay, the government should implement the contractionary fiscal policy when the inflation rate in the country or economy is very high. Okay, when the country has high inflation rate, then the government should use the contractionary fiscal policy. Okay, then the next sentence is you need to discuss what are the tools can be used by government to monitor or reduce the inflation then. Okay, so there are two tools again. So in order to reduce the inflation, the government can try to reduce government spending and increase taxes charged on the private firm and also the personal household. Okay, so by doing these two, actually this can reduce the household expenditure and reduce the investment of private firm, and as a result, this will reduce the AD. Yeah? So once the AD value reducing, this will shift the AD to the left hand side, and the price level of the goods will reduce. Once price level reduce, this can reduce the inflation rate. So this is how you explain the answer, yeah, to differentiate between expansionary and also the contractionary fiscal policy. Okay, so far so good, All right. So tomorrow we are not going to proceed to a new chapter, but we are going to do revision for online quiz 3, whereby we are going to discuss the practice exercise 3. This time for practice exercise 3, answer will only be given by tomorrow. But you can try to do the question today before we have the class tomorrow. You can try to do the question first, practice. Okay, then we can discuss tomorrow. And remember also your assignment report you need to submit on this coming Friday, 12 noon. Okay, any other question before we call a day? Okay, I go back. Any question that I would like to ask before we call a day?
Sir?
Yes.
Where can I find the recording for online briefing quiz?
I haven't converted to. Okay, I'll share after the class. I haven't converted to YouTube video. Okay, thank you for reminding, Carissa. Okay, I'll try to convert to YouTube video and post on the Canvas, and then I'll make announcement. Okay, thank you for reminding, Carissa. Yeah. Any other question? Okay. If not, then we just call a day. Okay. Just now we have a few team members just want me to ask question on the report, right? It's okay. I think. Okay. No other question. If no other question, we just call a day. And then for the team members of Nimpo, right? Nimpo just now, right? Would you like to continue having the discussion again by using the Microsoft Teams link this morning? We go to another meeting link to have a discussion. Is that okay? Nimpo and just now who else? Huh? I think Jizwan, right? Jizwan. Is that Jizwan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So can you and the team members go to the meeting link that we used this morning to continue our discussion? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you now. Huh? Okay, so for the rest, if not other question, I'll see you tomorrow. All right? No other question, huh? Okay, bye-bye. I'll stop recording now.